The world is in the midst of a global financial crisis. However, this could also be times of opportunity. You're talking about a global Green New Deal. What is your vision behind it?
Well, we live in financially very challenging times right now, and our greatest concern is that in trying to deal with the financial crisis, we will actually abandon the efforts that have been nurtured in recent years in addressing the issue of climate change, food security, energy security. And the idea of the global Green New Deal is to say we can have the same dollars that are being mobilized for stabilizing the financial markets, for stimulus packages, directed towards the economy of tomorrow, which is less polluting, more energy efficient, and helps us to deal with an issue like climate change. We also need, in a very uneven world, a deal for Copenhagen and the Climate Change Convention. Therefore, we are calling for a global Green New Deal that provides massive investments at the moment in accelerating the transition towards renewable energy technologies, energy efficiency, which will generate rapidly jobs in the economy, and particularly to move towards a less carbon-intensive economy, the green economy of tomorrow. And if you look at a world in which we are already 6.5 billion people, soon 8-9 billion people, where are the jobs going to come from for these people? The steel industry, the automotive industry today are essentially old industries that have reached a peak in terms of employment. We need new sectors, and we need a fast, rapid economic stimulus right now.
Much of Obama's economic stimulus package revolves around renewables. In order to steer towards that sustainable path, to what extent do you need political support?
People may not know, but in 2007, UNEP assessed and estimated the total expenditure in renewable energy technology. It was almost $150 billion. 20% of all new electricity generating infrastructure was renewable. The question is, can we accelerate and scale this up now in the face of this financial crisis, rather than simply putting money into the old economy, use that money to stimulate the new economy? And that transition, that acceleration requires political leadership, political capital. We are living right now off the natural capital, not of the interest on our planet. Our idea is to use the current financial crisis to take a great leap in the direction of a greener, more energy efficient and less polluting economy.
What role does technology play in this great leap that you have been describing?
I think a critical role. I mean, more specifically, what we are now discussing with Microsoft is how do some of the applications, some of the knowledge and know-how, well beyond the notion of just developing software, of how to address complex problems, how can we bring that knowledge to the kinds of challenges we face? For instance, the United Nations Environment Programme is trying to help over 190 nations across the world to establish compatible databases and information platforms on environmental trends. We forget sometimes that for many nations there is not even a computer there is no electricity, there is no capacity built in terms of local expertise that can be employed to maintain that data. Environmental problems may often manifest themselves locally, but the solutions are increasingly globally driven and also resourced.
Looking at the big picture, what are the key issues facing us today, and how bullish are you they will be overcome?
I think our biggest challenge is to understand that the economic paradigm of the 20th century, which was essentially a paradigm that looked at the natural capital on our planet as almost like something equivalent to cornucopia. It is endless. There is always more resources to find, in a sense, has come to an end. The 21st century challenge is to try and sustain and improve the livelihoods of 8-9 billion people with a lower footprint. So if we talk about a low carbon economy, that is a perfect illustration of what we're after. More economic and human well-being, if you want, development, but with a much lower footprint on the planet. And that requires us to rethink the signals into our economy, the use of technology, and above all, the way that we can share that technology and how we can help in partnerships to invest in that improvement. So if you ask me for what is the most important issue, I would say it is to bring economy and environment into a different relationship. Then we can begin to address the issues of climate change, of loss of biodiversity, of marine pollution in a much more effective and intelligent way, and not in a sense that constrains development, but rather informs a more intelligent development path forward.